Will Tesla eventually have an income from basically every single car on the road? Could one or another of the technologies developed by Tesla be so advanced that other car companies and or consumers will shell out monthly fees or royalties to get that technology? What could Tesla inside actually provide in total income to Tesla? Hi, this is Randy Kirk. You're going to love today's show. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, don't like it right now. Please wait till the end to like it because I want to hear whether you actually like the show. Anyway, hit subscribe and notify. As mentioned earlier this morning, I've got amazing shows coming up. Of course, I have the end of the week show tonight. I've got tomorrow morning with Larry Goldberg. He's going to be talking about the general Tesla situation right now and also about India. He's an expert, or I think he's an expert. We'll ask him tomorrow morning if he's an expert on India. And then Brian White on Sunday talking about the Tesla Model 3 Highland. What's going on with that? Anyway, those are just some of the shows that are coming up you don't want to miss. And then, of course, Patreon. Love to have more folks putting up all of my spreadsheets on Patreon, including my 23, my 24, and my 26 spreadsheets showing where I think Tesla is going to be in profits and, of course, per share earnings, which result in something with regard to the stock price. Well, most folks on Wall Street seem to think that the big catalyst that catapulted Tesla to recent highs was the announcement by Ford, then GM, then Rivian, and then almost all the competing charging station companies that they would adopt NACS standards, NACS. Some people are calling it NACS standards. Well, this is, of course, possible that that's what drove the Tesla stock price so much in the last week. But we would be remiss to not recognize that what it might also mean in addition. Many analysts are now starting to pick up on Elon Musk's statement at the time when he was on the call with Jim Farley. He said, "Hey, I'll be happy to help you out with OTA updates also." Now, this is not the first time that Elon Musk has said that he's happy to help the other car companies. Famously, Tesla provides their patents for nothing. I mean, they're just available. They're open source, then nobody has to pay any fees to use their patents. Now, there's a reason for that. You may or may not be aware, is that Elon believes that innovation, rapid innovation, is the real key, not patents. And so a patent that's put out today, let's say, on how to do the windshield wipers on the new Cybertruck, that patent, by the time people read the patent and deal with the patent to figure out how to use that on some future truck of their own, Tesla will have moved ahead in that regard. So that's what he believes, but that's not true of every single technology because a lot of it has to do with the tech that it's not about the patents. Patents are great. I've had many, many patents. I have paid royalties on patents, and I have patented products, and I've had products that had patents from other individuals, and the patents are helpful. But you know what it costs today? If you want to fight a patent battle, you just hand a check for $100,000 to the patent attorney as the down payment. So patents are very difficult to maintain today, even if you're able to get them in the first place. So patents are not everything. What is everything is having the tech that other people can't match, like over-the-air updates that nobody has yet been able to match. So yeah, it's great that Elon would like to share, but some of this stuff is going to cost money if it's shared, like, for instance, the supercharging situation that we've just been talking about. So comment here by Will McDonough, CEO of EMG Advisors, an asset manager that invests in raw materials for EVs. He says, at what point will the legacy car companies realize that they also don't need to build their own batteries and chassis and drivetrains? So in other words, Tesla could just sell batteries to other companies. They could sell the full drivetrain to other companies. They could use their technologies for building the entire chassis are portions of the chassis by using these massive die casting machines, gigacasters. Sorry. Anyway, they could use that technology as well. So he goes on to say Teslas are better, more efficient, cheaper to build, and the entire industry might as well adopt their battery tech and focus on servicing customers and differentiating their body styles and brand, which is what they've been doing for years. RBC Capital Markets analyst Tom Narayan said, autonomy, both self-driving private cars and robotaxi fleets could be worth 20% and 70% of future earnings, respectively. Not just 20%, of the business or 70% of the business. No, 20% of their earnings could come from self-driving private cars, just the FSD portion, and then 70% from robotaxi fleets. He went on to say he assumes Tesla would license FSD to 20% of all non-Tesla robotaxis globally and would operate 25% of US robotaxis plus 8% in Europe and 7% in China. Well, those numbers, you know what I keep telling you? I pull numbers out of the air. Now they're based on connecting the dots. They're based on analysis of whatever data you can get your hands on. They're based on expectations that have something to do with reality. But at the end of the day, Narayan just pulled those numbers out of thin air. Believe me, I don't care how much analysis he did. He has no idea what the percentages will be. Now I'm going to do the same thing later, but just let's all be clear on what this is all about. So anyway, I wondered what the potential for Tesla might really be. Now, this is a short list of the potential items that Tesla could license to other car manufacturers. Number one, various aspects of supercharging and megacharging already happening, 100% certain to take place. Over-the-air update technology. We just talked about that. Nobody else has been able to do it. A lot of the other software that goes into the car would also be in that same list. Ford has said, just recently, he said, look, we've got 110 different software companies making software for our cars. They all have to be able to organize and work together to figure out how to do these different things. And it's a nightmare. Well, we know Tesla doesn't do that. They do all their own software. And so they can sell that pack to other companies. Number three, other software in the entertainment system like games and other aspects. Number four, gigacasting technology. We just mentioned that. I stumbled over the word a lot, but gigacasting technology. Anyway, AI and Tesla Agile in their manufacturing approaches. So maybe the companies would want to continue to manufacture in their own factories, but Tesla could come in and provide them with support in terms of their amazing AI capabilities and their agile methods. Insurance using real-time analysis. Now, so that's how Tesla is, crushing the insurance business right now and will continue to crush it. I do worry that this is not a long-term business. When we get into robotaxis are not going to be insured. There's not, there may be some minor insurance involved. Ultimately, cars are not going to run into each other. So I don't see this as a long-term business, but it is a short-term business, and there's a lot of money to be made in this decade. And then other specific tech, specific things like Octavalve. I'm not going to go down that list. You know some of the other items. And then the big ones would be FSD and robotaxi. So now let my speculation, pulling it out of the air, let my speculation begin. I'm going to assume that the combination of all of these things might result in $100 per month of pure income to Tesla from the entire non-Tesla fleet. So we're assuming that Tesla might get 70% of the robotaxi business if they license the tech to other companies. We already have Tesla making money from robotaxis through the Tesla owners and the Tesla fleet. But now we have to add possibly another 100 million cars from the other makers. Now, how do I get to 100 million cars? Okay, there's now 2 billion cars on the road. What everybody says is that these robotaxis will be 5 times as efficient as current cars. So that if every car was a robotaxi, that would get us down to 400 million cars. Every car will not be a robotaxi. So I'm adding another 100 million into the fleet. Now it could be 700 million, it could be 800 million. So I'm trying to be the lowest number I can think of. So 500 million cars on the road when we are in that time, that position. So those other 400 million cars would potentially be less than the $100 a month that I'm talking about, but the Tesla owned cars, in other words, the actual Tesla vehicles, would be generating way more than $100 a month. So the Tesla fleet would be way over $100 a month. And then the Tesla owned cars, like you or I might own a car and put it out to rent in the Tesla fleet, those would clearly be over $100 a month in incoming fees. So that's why I'm saying an average of $100 a month for all 500 million cars. So what is 500 million cars times $100 a month? Unless I've done the math wrong, it is $50 billion a month, or $600 billion per year in profit from having Tesla inside. Now, what if the average was only $10 a month? Well, sadly, that would drop the profits to only $60 billion a year. Have I messed up the math here? Let me know in the comments. Where am I wrong on this? So it could be $600 billion a year in profit, okay, because these are royalties, rentals, fees, monthly subscriptions. So 600 billion per year in profit if it's $100 a month, which is a reasonable number. And it could be only half of that. It could be 300 billion, or it could be more than $100 a month, and it could be $1 trillion per year. I don't know, but $600 billion a year seems like the right number, pulling it out of the air through connecting the dots and using my analytic brain. Okay, if you like, now's the time. Did you like this? Well, then hit like. This is the time to do it. And then subscribe, and then hit notify, and then it's time to join up on the Patreon network. If you haven't done that yet, I would surely appreciate it. And remember, all of my spreadsheets are up there. Some of my videos go up early there. In fact, there'll be several videos going up there early over the next 2 days. So join Patreon. It's only $5 a month. And right now there's a 7-day free trial. So that's a great reason to do it. And then buy the books. You know, the Elon Musk mission, that is about all the things we're talking about. I talked about the royalties. I don't think I wrote the chapter. One of the other guys wrote the chapter, but we talked about the royalties back in October. We talked about how that would be a very, very big business. If you're an entrepreneur, or you think someday you'd like to be an entrepreneur, then you've got the other 3 books. One about Elon Musk and what he does right that you could copy. The When Friday Isn't Payday is a book that's been out on the market since 1993. It's in the 3rd edition. I just rewrote it a few years ago. Is still as current as yesterday. And then finally, Making Money Out of Thin Air, about how to do bookkeeping. If you are bookkeeping challenged and you're not sure how to read your P&L as a small business owner, that is the book for you. In fact, it would also help you to read Tesla's P&L and other people like me that are putting out expected or projected P&Ls. It would help you to be able to read those, to be able to understand them better as you make stock decisions. So that would be Making Money Out of Thin Air. All 4 of those books are available on Amazon, and they're available as a Kindle. They're available as a paperback. Some are available as hardbacks, and all of them are available as audiobooks. All right. So this is Randy Kirk. It's been great talking to you.